Generally what I want to do is I want to roll the subject onto one side, and I'm going to place the groin towards the back of the head. What I don't want to do is lift up the leg and have my groin facing the hands, because every single time it ends up badly with a little squish and a twist. So I like to go this way. I'm going to go on that knee, and I'm going to birth that knee through this hole in the arm. So it's going to give me some good control. He doesn't have as much mobility. I can rock over and roll on him if I need to. He doesn't have a lot of capacity to move. It doesn't change if he's in cuffs. I didn't put these on too tightly. Didn't want to hurt him too much. And basically what I'll do is I'll start top and I'll go to bottom, and then I'll flip him over and do the other side. So the first thing we do normally, if there's a hat, we would take it off. We would even check the hairline, always with the pads of the fingers. We'll look. Sometimes I'll ask him to open his mouth, depending on what the context is. In clubs, oftentimes it would be a more polite search where they're not restrained, but the mouth was always the hiding place for things. If I go underneath the collar, I try to avoid going into anything without looking. So generally we're pulling it away and we're looking very politely. If it's got 2 layers, I'm going to look all the way around, and I want to do more than half. More than half so that I overlap. I will feel with the pads everywhere for anything that could be hidden. I'll look under sleeves very softly. When I get down to the waistband, it's the same thing. I would pull up all layers, and I will peel the belt away, and I will look underneath to make sure. I don't want to dig in with my hands. You see people doing this all the time. People will hide every manner of needle, tool, razor blade. You have no idea. Just because somebody's just breaking into your house doesn't mean they don't have weapons as well. When I get to pockets, again, I don't want to go in. Normally what I'll do is I'll pull it, and if you're working with a flashlight, I'll keep the flashlight back, and I'll very softly work out the pocket until I can see an item. If I see an item, I will try to take the item out gently and place it into a communal spot. Everything would go into one spot, and I would search down. And then once I get past the extent of my reach, I'll look if I can see pockets. These types of tactical pockets don't invert, so I'll look as deeply as I can, and I'll pull the fabric up until I can see the bottom. And then finally, I will switch when I'm ready to go. When I am ready, if I do want to go down, some people will switch legs like this, and they'll have the groin here. And this is the one that I've seen the most used. Again, I'm not a large fan of this. People feel that the following move sometimes requires too much mobility on the part of the subject. That has never been my experience. What I do is I commandeer the leg via the cloth if it's there. If not, I'll use the tendon from the front. I'll go under the knee. I pull the leg up and I will search. I will look underneath to see if there's anything in that pant leg. I will check socks. If I have found absolutely anything of suspicion, if that person had a weapon on them or anything suspicious, I will even go to the extent of taking off the shoes. If not, it's a matter of choice. The shoe is not as common a hiding place. In clubs, it may be a larger concern. We'll ask somebody to take them off. Certainly at airports it is. If it's just a very quick search that you're doing in your house after restraining somebody who was attacking you, it might not be as big a priority. I would then roll them on their face. I would go around the head to the far side. Again, groin to the back of the head. I would pull them up, birth that knee, and I would quickly search the other side. So it's a very simple search technique. By no means is it the most detailed, but it's the one that I find the easiest to learn, the easiest to apply. If he starts to resist, I'm in a safe position. I can easily move from this cradle position, go north-south, and then start applying all the same control that we had before. If that restraint starts to feel, I can get out of it and go here, or I can abandon and pop up quite quickly as well.